Yeah, it's trippy, huh?
Oh my
It's
God.
like live TV, national broadcast shit.
Holy smokes.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks for letting me come here. I've wanted to talk to you for a really, really long time. Letting me come
Really? I know it's delay. Delay.
Is that our life now?
Yeah, I just logged on, so if people do message or anything, I can see. We can answer any questions that need answering.
Okay.
But was it a bitch getting here? I always ask. Like, I'm just really impressed. People are so eager to come. I don't know. I just thanks. It's a mission every time getting around LA and going to place.
I would like to state that I appreciate that you think it's difficult to get around. And you're thankful that people have come here. And I think that's really great. I don't find going places to be difficult.
Really? Mm-hmm. Maybe I'm projecting my own.
I think so.
Bullshit.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
This is like, I have so many questions for you. This is like, I know you're here. I'm here for you to interview me.
No, it's open. It's totally open.
It's open.
We don't even have to talk about.
I think
we can
I'm
just
gonna-
talk about the wet. Like I said, we can talk about the weather and what you had for dinner last night, if you want. It really doesn't matter. It's
Well,
loosey goosey.
I like where you start this. I like that you think that going places is like a difficult battle where you're like gotta like put on this armor and like go in this scary device and like get to this next.
I mean, it
place.
is, right? And especially here. I don't know if it is everywhere, but it is in LA.
Well,
It's a mission. You know when you get in the car and you got to go somewhere, you're like, I really fucking hope there's no accidents. I hope there's no traffic. What if I can't park my car? What if what if I cut somebody off? What if someone cuts me off? And what if I piss something? I don't know. There's all these. It's unnatural habitat.
Unnatural habitat. Well, might I propose something to you?
Yeah.
The process of going somewhere is a threefold process. One is getting ready. Two is going to the place. And three is where you're going. Do you find yourself to be particularly worried about one of those things always?
Yeah.
Okay.
All three usually.
All three? Oh, wow, this is exciting.
No, well, it's the actual going. It's the traveling part. It's not necessarily being somewhere new. I like being somewhere new.
Okay.
And
So it's step 2 of the threefold process.
I would say most of it comes from step 2. Yeah.
So because you don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, and it just feels. I just don't like being in a fucking car or a plane. I don't like that shit.
You don't like that shit.
I just don't. It doesn't feel good. You feel good being in a car stuck in bumper to bumper.
What happens on that way is like, oh, it's so nervous, and anyone that cuts you off is like, oh, such an asshole. Or am I allowed to say that?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's the internet.
It's like, oh, I really hate you, and I hate myself even more for being late. And now where I'm going is like filled with this energy of like, bleh. But like, if you give yourself time, and then you go somewhere early and like prepared, everything that happens is just like, yeah, whatever. That's fine. Like, oh, they drive bad, whatever. Like, oh, there's an accident.
That's true.
That's so sad for them. Like, oh, all these things, it's up to you. You can't control what's going to happen, but what you can control is if you, like, have the right amount of time, you don't really have to worry. If you find yourself worrying, even when you're, like, going to be 20 minutes early, then there's, like, deeper issues,
I was going to say, the timing thing doesn't... If anything, I'd be more worried if I was early, because I'd have more time to think about shit.
So might I...
I'd be like, what if I say the wrong thing? What if I look the wrong way? What if I smell like shit and then they never want to hang out with me again? What if I... Whatever. I'm working through it, every day.
So I would like to say the reason I was most excited to talk to you is that you seem to be someone truly on the path of life, trying to figure things out inside your mind. Things happen and you really consider them and you want to get better. Some people don't consider anything and they're just like complacent. But would you say that you're a little bit riddled with anxiety?
Yes.
Would you put yourself on that side of the spectrum?
Yeah, I mean, you could call it what you want. anxiety, nervousness, ruminating. I don't know.
Right.
I have issues, and I don't know if I've made that apparent, but I definitely don't like minimizing how fucking insane anxiety, like a real anxiety disorder, can be. But yeah, I mean,
Can I talk to you about anxiety?
absolutely.
Okay, so do you ever have panic attacks?
Yes.
Okay,
I'm
so
on many anti-anxiety medication.
me too.
Every day.
That's amazing.
So
Great work.
I panic attacks are like ruin my life.
Okay, so I would like to talk to you about that because
Sure. Well, what's your experience with it?
Anxiety ruined my whole life until a lot of different things that I realized in my mind, and with the help of medicine, which I don't know that everyone should take it, but like with the help of that and like a few key ways of changing the way you look at stuff, like it's no longer anxiety, it's a natural energy force to help you. But I would say the first place to look is like, what is anxiety? Like, what really is it like physiologically that is happening? And this might help for your panic attacks, is that anxiety is like a fear response, and it's mainly what it's doing is to get you away from the lion, get you away from the bear, get you away from like the gigantic snake that's coming up from like the ground, even though there's not supposed to be a snake coming from the ground, or scary ghosts, or like vampires are chasing you. Like, your body does what it's supposed to do because you don't want to get eaten, you know? So your body's like,
of course.
Oh man, okay. So anxiety is this like has many different things going on, but I don't know if you've noticed these things, but it's like all of a sudden your vision kind of starts to go like this, and
the walls start closing in.
Right. So what that is that your actual is this music?
I don't know.
If you don't hear that,
oh, I hear that. Yeah, it's probably someone playing piano out there. Yeah, that was.
That's what happens when I have a panic attack.
Yeah.
Music starts playing.
I feel you. I feel you.
No, but so the vision thing, I was always like, why are you like, this is something happening to me. This is like, why am I inventing this crazy thing? So what's happening is that basically all of the physiological things of anxiety is to get your body ready to run. So your vision, instead of like being able to scope everything, is getting just so that you can run. So it's closing in on you. It's not walls closing in on you. It's your body being like, focus on effing running that way. So that's one thing. The other thing is that it stops all of your blood, like all of your, like, I'm digesting food. It's like, oh no, you don't need to focus on that shit right now. Like, you need to get blood to your legs. So that's why you feel like, oh my God, like, it's not right. But really, it is right. It's getting, and I always was like, why do I always want to get out of here? And it's like, because physically what's happening is your body's doing the right thing. It's trying to get you out of there. So there's blood shot to your legs and like energy and like, I can't remember all of the things that happen when you have an anxiety attack, but it's all for you to get away from being eaten. So it's not like, why am I inventing like all of these different things? How come this is happening? It's like, it's supposed to, like, great work. You're doing what your body says to do, you know?
Yeah.
And so that's just like, in general, anxiety. And I kind of found like this whole thing of like leaving early, like even in every way, like someone talks to you and it's scary, like giving yourself a little bit of room and time, like makes it less like, and then, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, but then also there's sometimes like you're a great artist and like musician.
Oh geez, I don't know about that.
It's a fact.
I don't know.
No, it's there's like people have written papers about it. It's like
Jesus Christ, I don't know about that.
Somebody got their
Thank you
doctorate.
for the. Oh my God, no, I don't know
how
about that.
cool Wyatt Blair is.
No, definitely not.
Somebody
Definitely not.
did.
I don't think so.
Like one person. I think so, but
I don't know.
it's like now I'm like really focused on like, did somebody? Maybe somebody did do that. But yeah, it's
I
like,
don't think so.
So you're a great artist and you have all these things in your mind that are a little bit hard to control maybe, but like for me, I don't like being anxious at all. Like, ooh, I don't like it. But I also realize that if I don't have a lot of pressure on me, like to do certain things, I won't do them. So it's helpful in a way. It's like when we write, bye Iggy. When we write or channel our music or whatever, it's like I hate writing words. It's just like, to me, the silliest thing. I'm trying to like look at it differently. It's like, what a great opportunity to, but it's like, as much as I just don't like it. But so I wait until the day we're recording the words to write them all down, and I write all the songs in one day, and that's a horrible, stressful thing.
Can I guess? I feel like maybe I'm similar in that sense, but I think
fun.
It's really like circular. It moves a lot.
Sorry, please continue.
Well, okay, so I think there's a lot of people that are drawn to music, especially if they play it, because it allows them to turn this off and just focus on what's going on in here.
Aww.
And I think, I'm guessing that's a reason why you probably like writing that way and creating music that way, because it kind of allows you to just flick off, turn the neuroses light off, and just kind of feel it as things happen. And I think that's one way a lot of creative people are attracted to making music or painting, because it just turns the fucking
or cooking.
Psyche off.
Or cook, like it's like it's something
same.
laid out. It's but then again, it's you're doing something with intention for a purpose. At its essence, like that's what it is. And it's like, well, what if I take a shower with intention and purpose of just, what if I choose to like do something whilst driving that like actually lifts me up, like kind of like the way we are, I think, naturally, is to be kind of complacent and like, I'll do it later, like I'll get better later, or I'll whatever later. But it's like, or you can consider every moment like building, every time you remember to like pay attention and slow down, and like, or when you're playing and not thinking like, oh, this is that place, that time, like you get to add it to your like cool bucket, you know, and then like your bucket gets full of examples of what makes you feel chill, and then you can like go back to the bucket and be like, what's in there? And it's your bucket,
Yeah, I mean, if you live most of your life with intention, even doing the small things, it does. It feels things aren't as aggressive. Life doesn't seem as aggressive.
Yeah,
it's more like you're able to hop in the driver's seat a little bit, right? But it's hard. It's hard to have intention with everything. I don't know.
You don't have to have it with everything, but when you do have it, if you reward yourself by saying, good job, or adding it to like some sort of thing that you like define as like, oh, I'm adding every day, adding ever so slightly more and more. It's more meaningful than just like, oh, that was cool, and then like, no, it's not cool. It's just like you have the power to make all of your power.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm pro power.
Hell yeah. Self-empowerment.
Self-empowerment.
Right? That's what it is. People, I forget who I was talking to about this, but there's just not enough people being empowered with their own will to do things.
That's another thing.
Their own, it's like,
that's a whole
people are looking
other
externally
thing.
For that shit. And you got to reach within.
You got to reach within. Also, another thing I would like to discuss with you is I feel like maybe, and this is like, I don't really know you that well, but I've known you for a real long time.
Yeah.
But I feel like maybe you're like a person that kind of is a figurehead of why right now is cool. Like whether or not you like to think of it that way. You're an
I don't think of it that way, but okay.
You're an example of like a success story in like living out your dreams and like being cool, and you play every instrument, you write cool songs, your last record ruled, like, you know what I mean? Like you're alive and you're an example of a cool dog, And it's like, do you think, like, I think this is a really wonderful time. As much as it's divisive and not, which I'd prefer not to discuss.
Yeah,
but
are you saying a good time to be playing, to be creative? And
I just think like as
or just in general?
Time. Like I think the last like 100 years is pretty baller. Like I think.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, it's like
we're in
advent of rock and roll, like blues, gospel, like jazz, all these things, and then rock and roll, and then the next part of rock and roll, and the next part of rock and roll, and just on and on it goes.
Yeah.
In a world with rock and roll.
Yeah. I agree. It's probably the best time to be alive right now.
Oh my God.
I agree. Especially even just talking about music, you can make a fucking record on your phone.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like everybody has an opportunity to make something.
Yeah.
And I think that's really cool. I know a lot of people think that that's what's the problem, but I think that's not the problem. I think it's great.
Good. Well, that's something that you're excited about.
Yeah, no, I definitely am not a type of person that is like, oh man, I wish it was 1996 again.
I didn't know.
When there was fucking labels that would only sign the good bands and filter out the shit. It's like, whatever. It was boring.
Okay, cool.
It's way more exciting now.
It wasn't I guess I assumed like maybe like as a, I don't know, some people fall under that category.
Yeah,
So that's great. I like where we're at right now.
I just think it's cool that you can do your own thing and have your own fan base, and there's no rules.
Yeah.
There's not anyone telling you what to do or how to do it or how to look or how to. There's a lot of that kind of shit going on.
So it's getting better.
Fuck yeah, it's getting better.
Okay, I feel
it's
like
the best time. It's the best time to be making music right now. It's insanely easy. Everyone can do it. There's a lot of support. You know, there's things changing. It's hard to make money doing it. That's maybe a little trickier. I think there is a way to be successful, but it just takes a lot more. It takes more thought.
Exactly.
And having to look out for yourself, whereas 30 years ago you had a team of people doing that for you.
Totally. That's the biggest problem right now, for sure. But I think right now it's like the end of the cycle of like, okay, this is how music industry works. You know, like it's like, okay, there's, you know, streaming stuff and music or what's it called? Just like the whole way
all
you
the
release
social
music
media
is so silly.
platforms and all that stuff.
So now I think we're in a really, really, really lucky,
rich time.
like one step out of the quagmire where we can be like, how can we be more creative with the way we deliver our shit, you know?
Yeah.
Which is way cooler than like last year where people were like, it's just so hard to keep doing it this way. And I was like, hard to do it this way. Well,
no,
what about
easier
easy to do it another way?
Yeah, it's easier. I think it's just change. It's hard for people to change.
Yeah.
The music thing is changing every year, every month. I mean, if you're not, you could get stuck in your own ways, but people don't give a shit as much as we think. That's the thing too, that I've realized.
Like in general?
Like, I really, really think that people would probably listen to a Death Valley Girls demo record just as much as like a studio thought out, worked on an album for months. I honestly think people will be just as interested and enjoy listening to like your voice memos as they would a proper recording.
I think they would be pretty, something
it's like,
would happen
there's
for
not,
sure.
Yeah, I don't think people are wanting the perfect, most prized thing you can make. I think they just want to feel connected to you and see what you're doing and listen to what you're all about and see your growth and where you've come from. And, oh, that's the demo version. And I don't know. You know what I mean?
Totally.
People don't care as much. Just be you and just put shit out. Put shit out all the time.
Yeah,
that's
so
my opinion.
You're on a program for progress musically, musical output program for progress. Can you please describe that to me?
Just put shit out.
But like, what are you specifically doing?
I'm trying to put something out every month, but I'm doing a lot of shit. I mean, I'm doing this podcast, which
How's this feel? Is it exciting?
Yeah, it's exciting. I love talking to people. So I'm usually not talking to people. So it's very invigorating, you know, having a conversation with somebody.
Usually
that seems constructive.
Not talking to people.
Well, you know, I stick to myself. I stay in my lane. I kind of do my own thing. I live in my own little universe.
Yeah.
I live, you know, here and focusing on all this all the time. And I kind of just do that, you know, kind of like a turtle in a way.
That's cool.
So it's exciting. It's invigorating talking to people. I don't know. It's grounding.
Well, like I came here to do this thing, and then I met this hero also before we even did this, with an opportunity that has like is the obvious trail of my life. You know, it's like maybe if you go out a little bit more, you can like things like this will happen. Like, oh, Mary Pickford Studios. Like, wait, what?
No, you're right.
You know,
You're totally right.
I've been finding that the more, like, I don't like going out at all, but I've been finding the more you go out, the more opportunity finds you. It's strange. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's true.
I kind of feel like.
Got to have the doors open.
Yeah, I feel like this, like, in a weird way, you're being excited about these times kind of makes me feel like this podcast is over. I'm satisfied. I'm like just so I kind of thought I was going to come here and you'd be like, not say that, you know, and I'd have to like convince you or something.
Oh no, don't.
But
no, I think this is like,
you're
dude,
happy.
if you would have given the Beatles a time machine from 1966 to 2020, their fucking heads would explode. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's like we're so spoiled being able to complain about how easy it is to make music. It was so fucking hard even 50 years ago to be anybody and to do anything. So no, yeah, I definitely am not. I think it's great. I think it's just interesting. The one thing that's hard to do, like I said, is to really try to be successful. It's really hard, really fucking hard if you're doing it all yourself.
I think you'll find that most people don't define what success is to them. So that it's impossible to achieve your goal if you don't have a goal. Because someone asked
success
us,
like you can live your life, you know.
Right, but that's what it means to you. Like, me and Larry like did an interview. Maybe we all did it. I can't remember. But like within the last couple of months, someone's like, the last question was like, "So, what's success mean to you?" And we were like, wait, what? Like, what does that even mean? Like, what is that word? Like, success. And we were like, we've never used that word in our head.
Yeah.
Maybe that's and it's a good place to start, I guess. But
yeah,
we were just like you mean, like what? You know, it's a really bizarre word but that's also coming from a place of people that don't like money. And you gotta like money so you can give to the marine mammals. You know, like the more money you have, the more causes you can help, the more food you can eat.
Yeah.
The more food your dog can eat, the more dogs you can have, the more friends you can buy things for.
Yeah.
The more ways you can you can pretty much do way more stuff with money, but you can do a lot of stuff without it. So it's hard to be like, all right, this time I need more than $1,000 a month. And I didn't mean to say that. That wasn't not in reference to anything.
I get it.
I'm sorry, but that actually is like, based on no references, that is the amount of money I strive for.
Yeah.
And I guess in a way it's like, come on, like, why don't you want $2,000 a month? Like, what's wrong with you? Like, you could help so many more people if you just had $2,000 a month. But we live like $1,000 a month lives.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's not that good, you know? Like, you could do better. Like, you could do
better, but it's also like your measure for your life success is that, like you said, is vastly different than someone you talk to on the street or someone you talk to at a fancy restaurant or someone you talk to in a ballroom in France. You know what I mean? So it's like
ballroom in France.
I don't know. It's like it's like if you feel like you've been successful with what you've done, and if success just means being able to play music.
Yeah, I think that's our problem.
And being somewhere where having a fan base of some sort, and then being happy and just loving playing music, that's success for sure. You know.
Do you like the smell of Sharpies, or not like them?
Like scented ones or just straight Sharpie?
Straight Sharp. Just it's like either you do or you don't. You don't like
I don't think it bothers me, but I don't think I would go out of my way to smell a Sharpie.
You want? Yeah, no, I was just kind of like sitting there like, whoa, what is it? Like, I haven't tried to smell anything in a while. Like, what will happen?
Yeah, Sharpies are, can't you get like high?
You can get high, it just isn't that easy.
It smells like sand. or something. Like
What
tropical
does sand
sands,
smell
you know?
like? Tropical
Like
sand.
mango, like if a mango fell into sand and got smushed.
Wow.
I don't know.
You should be a scent describer.
Oh,
Like
jeez, I don't know.
find a company that needs.
I'd fucking love to do that.
What did you say?
Like if a mango fell into the sand and you stepped on it and you were like getting the mango out of your foot, that's what it would smell like.
Wait, that's totally what I was thinking too. I noticed you said something a while back about essential oils.
Oh, geez. I was
What
just
is
kind of
that?
fucking around.
I know, but what's essential oils and why would you want them or not want them?
You've heard of essential oils, right?
I've heard of
They're
such things.
okay. So they're oils from plants that
I didn't know
you
that.
can smell and like put on your body that supposedly have medicinal purposes. Some are really good for anxiety. Some are really good for when you feel depressed. Some are really good if you're trying to sleep.
Maybe you should get essential oil of chocolate chip cookies.
No, that would get me back addicted.
Did you get off of them?
Yeah, I got off of them, and
But
there's a few days where I'll eat like a tub full of cookies and I'll want to fucking kill myself, and then I'll be like, all right, can't do this again.
Oh my god.
Not literally, but you know what I mean.
I
Like it's just
understand.
like, oh god.
Yeah.
But
well,
yeah, I've been off cookies for a bit.
So can I tell you my new obsession?
What is
I
it?
have a new obsession. I don't. It's just actually I've thought about it like 4 times this week. But okay.
That's a legit
So,
obsession, I guess.
Thank you. Okay, so you know how like everybody's so obsessed with what they eat and whatnot.
Yeah.
And nobody knows what's good for you. It's like one day one thing, one day the next thing,
Yeah.
and you're like, what is going on? Like I just want answers.
Yeah, I just want to feel like I'm doing the right thing.
Yeah, well, so I was kind of, this all started out by sort of like thinking about like, do other countries typically eat the same way they've eaten for hundreds of years? I've done no research on this, but I imagine that like Asia has so many countries, and I imagine for the most part, typically, a lot of those countries eat the same food they've always eaten. Like typically, I'm sure in the Middle East, a lot of people eat the same food. Typically, South America, Central America, I'm imagining that these places haven't shifted their diet. So I wonder, like, is the fact that we just have so many options of cuisine, like, why we can't get it together?
That is why. I
Breaking
researched this
news.
shit.
You did?
I obsess over like food and diet and weird shit like that.
Wow. Because I kind of thought, like, why, instead of, like, the diets people go on, which are, like, not fun to them, and it doesn't make them excited or want to do them, I was thinking these few things is that, one, what if you just went on a different country's diet? You just choose a country that's had the same diet forever, and then just eat all of the foods they eat. I bet that would make you feel better. Or I had another idea, which is what if you were like, you had a like, and I kind of want to make an app or something, but it's like, what if you were like stranded on a deserted island diet where there's like only 5 foods you could eat, and like you couldn't eat any other foods, and like I'm not sure what's essential, but I feel like people can live on an island, you know, like in the movies, there's like coconuts, papaya, fish.
For sure.
2 other things, and it's like that would be a fun diet.
It
you
would
know,
be.
like, oh man, I'm stuck on the island. Like I gotta only eat this shit. Like shed the pounds. Also have fun eating because there's no other food in the whole wide world that's available to me.
Yeah,
you know?
I mean, well, there's a lot of things to factor in with that. One is a lot of people think that when agriculture became a thing, when people were growing mass amount of crops, specifically grains, is kind of when these lifestyle / diseases like cancer and diabetes and heart disease and all this shit started kind of perspirating. Was when all this shit was. Well, I mean, people.
What's that word mean?
Perspirate, like
sweating?
Like just
distilling?
Somehow
Distilling?
just growing in small numbers.
Like
it's like the cancer rate now is way higher than it was in the early 1900s.
But like perspirate?
I don't know why I thought of that word.
Is that a word? Can you look it up?
Perspirate. I'm pretty sure that means like to ooze.
Okay, let's just say that's what it
Something.
means. I just never heard that word
Yeah,
before.
I don't know why I said it.
Feels fun to. We have this like dictionary
Perspirate.
sitting next to you.
Perspirate.
your fun square, if you will.
To secrete.
Dang. Okay. Fair enough.
So these diseases started secreting in the
Gross.
population.
Yeah.
But okay, so there's the theory that grains ruined it for everybody because it's a kind of new
But they also
phenomenon.
didn't ruin it for everybody else, so why?
True, but then they say that you should be eating, like, there's so many theories. There's theories on blood type diets where
But
if
do
it's your
you
specific
think
blood
people
type.
in other countries are like, okay, this is how I'm gonna be.
No,
Like,
okay.
why do we have
do you know?
to-
Do you know your lineage, like where you come from?
I do.
Where is that?
I come from Eastern Europe people,
Okay.
so we just eat babies, just the blood of babies.
Eastern Europe. I'm thinking what, like German.
Do you want me to help you?
Yeah, help me.
Or this is kind of fun to watch you think.
Russia, Germany.
Not Germany. Like the offshoots that probably that used to be like, what is it? Like former Soviet Union. Did that include like all the little places around it? It's like,
So, like,
Polish, Romanian,
Yeah.
Czech, Slovakian, Russian, Ukrainian,
Yeah.
all that wonderful place that makes however many people are there, a place for those people to live. That
Got it.
chunk of earth where
Yeah.
all those people that live there.
So if you
No
research,
opinion.
if you research what those people, what your lineage ate before agriculture, it's going to be probably, my guess would be fish and sprouted grains. I would
What's a
guess.
sprouted grain?
People would sprout grains before they ate them. It's easier to digest.
What?
So you can it's like soaking grains. So you can soak wheat berries instead of using like
Wheat
flour and
berries?
gluten and all this shit. You can, that's what wheat is. They're berries. And you can sprout them so they're easier to digest. They sell sprouted bread. You can get it at the grocery store. It's good. But like that's what people would prepare their shit properly back then. They would, they'd
Right.
skin tomatoes and take all the seeds out because it was really hard for people to digest.
Skinned tomatoes? That
Yeah, like
seems
in Italy, you don't see a real Italian restaurant serving you full tomatoes. It's going to be like sauces that have the tomatoes peeled
I
and
seen that shit.
de-seeded.
Yeah.
Because that's where gets your tummy ache,
We don't want tummy aches. We're people against tummy aches.
For sure.
Can we discuss other things?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
you know what I
You
mean?
just entered a rabbit hole.
I
where
know.
I
It's
can
my
go for
fault.
hours.
I shouldn't
I can
have-
go for hours.
I was
on-
just thinking of more like trying out
Okay.
some ideas.
I will say I tried the same thing and I only ate fish and rice
Yeah.
and beef. Because you can't eat fish every day, right? Because of mercury poisoning specifically. I was eating beef, fish, and rice only
Yeah.
for like a month, and it was the best digestively. Like I felt
Really?
so
No
clean.
vegetables? You
I
don't
felt
even need
so
that
clean.
shit?
I felt really clean.
Rice?
Rice and basically meat.
That's cool, but can I tell you something?
Yeah.
I want to talk more about this later, but
Yeah.
I would just like to state that I have stopped eating meat because I found in the UFO community that anyone that's been abducted comes back. Not anyone, but like 80% of people that have been abducted, like when they come back, they're like, I can't eat meat. And there's no reason. It's just like something that's like imprinted. And I was like, well, kind of seems like maybe I shouldn't if that's what like abductees, like maybe because they get filled with all these different knowledges and shit.
People have been eating meat since
Yeah, but
the beginning of time.
but ultra-terrestrial beings are telling humans not to eat meat. I feel like I should listen. You know what I mean?
Interesting. I wonder if they have your best interest at heart, though.
I believe they do.
Okay.
Not all of them. That'd be like everyone in the world cares about everyone else, but I
Yeah.
believe for the most
I feel
part
you.
that they're not like, let's keep them from the meat for evil
Well, I genuinely
reasons."
think that meat, really high quality meat,
It's really good
is
for you.
the healthiest thing you can eat. I really
Totally.
believe that. Only
and
because
cucumbers.
cucumbers are great.
Yeah.
Love cucumbers.
I don't care. I'm not for or against. I'm for everything, for
Yeah.
sure. I'm for joy, for happiness. I'm for free will. But I personally, something happened. I went to my friend's mom has this support group for abductees and experiencers, and it was like their Christmas party on the Queen Mary, and we went there, and it was like I was one of like 60 people, and I got a steak, and I was the only person in the room eating meat, and that experience was like so awful, and then it just made me I was like cutting it, and I was like, oh man, like all these people that have been to space are judging me.
How have you been abducted? What got you into the whole UFO phenomena?
I think like I was always really interested in like psychology, and I was like really just that was my main focus for like since I was a kid. For a long time, I just was really interested in psychology and how people become the way they are. And then at some point, I kind of was like, it's just kind of, I don't know what exactly happened, but I started to realize that that's just one piece of the pie.
Yeah.
And then I was like, there's these other things that are maybe spiritual or supernatural or whatever. And I become very obsessed with concepts. So I was just, for some reason, I read a few books, and it blew my mind, like my Bible, which I can buy for you and give to you at some point later. But just this book, the way it described all supernatural and paranormal phenomena as being one thing. It's not like aliens, ghosts, like demons, like poltergeists.
It's one thing. Like what do you mean by one thing?
That it's not those are the words we use to describe these things we don't know. Some people think
it's fun.
Some people think that like aliens are angels. Like everyone thinks different stuff. I've always also been interested in religion. I think it's really exciting and so good for you, and I have no problems with it. But yeah, it's just like, oh my God, I just decided, oh, I totally believe this, and then I met people that had experiences. Then I just decided forever I would be, hi, where are you going? Oh, sorry.
I wish I could. Maybe one of these days I'll show, because people just know this like angle. But we're in an office setting.
Mary Pickford's office.
Yeah, it's I don't know, tall ceilings.
Yeah, I had no idea.
It's not as small as it looks. I don't know. There's people around. It's an open environment, basically.
Yeah, but they're filled with heroes.
With heroes.
But yeah, no, it's just the more people you meet, particularly on tour and such, like, the more people that have had experiences, and the more people that you can connect the dots between these experiences being sort of the paranormal nature, and then people started just coming to me. Then I started like a lot, and I was like, whoa, this is crazy. And then I was like, I just started to realize that I do totally believe all of their stories. Just first and foremost, I completely believe all of their stories. But the main thing that I'm attracted to in this world is that these people, regardless of what like the scientific reason is, are having these similar experiences and don't have anyone there to support them. And like I for some reason feel compelled to be a supporter of these people having these experiences.
Of course.
And it just I don't know, that's what I like to do. So I go to alien shit. I'm going on Sunday to some alien shit. I pretty much every Sunday for the next month is filled with some alien shit.
So that is literally your church, your AKA religion. Right? Or I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I never thought about that. I guess I have to spend like 4 months exclusively. Well, I do have religion, actually. I do have like my whole life has completely changed very recently. Like just like.
Well, like you're born again type of thing, or what?
It is. I almost feel like I'm born again. It's crazy.
Explain. Unless you don't want to.
No, I'm down. I want to talk about this, but I also know that. But I don't want you to fear how excited I'm gonna be.
Oh, I'm not. How could I fear excitement?
Well, I've not really even told that many people.
I see what you're saying.
No, I mean it's just
it's a newish thing.
Yeah, and it does sound a little bit crazy, but it's not at all. It's just I can explain to you. I guess maybe I should just be like, this is what's going on in my life. Is that a crazy thing? Like,
it's not crazy.
Hey, Wyatt, like, you want to know what's going on with me? My life has completely changed in the last 4 months. but I think it
Explain.
would take like 25 minutes to describe why.
Just go for it.
Is that too
We'll
long?
work through it.
Okay, and you can just be like,
We'll work through it. That's what this podcast is
okay,
for.
you could
know
say,
what I'm saying?
okay, boomer. And I'll just like go outside or whatever. For some reason, I love that.
The okay boomer thing?
Yeah, no one said that to me yet. I feel really upset.
Are you a boomer? You're not a boomer.
Don't you think yeah, I was born in the 40s, right? That's boomer shit. Boomers are born in the 40s.
Boomers at 40s and
Baby boomers?
50s, right? 40s and 50s?
Isn't it like post-war kind of?
I'm looking this shit up.
Yeah,
Right now.
but
I'm
it's
pretty
really
sure
fun.
it's-
I say that to my dog when she's like doesn't listen to me or like. I just like to say it to things that aren't related. She's like, okay, boomer. It's like my new favorite.
If your dog's name was Boomer, then
oh,
be the
that
okay
would be
boomer.
a good dog. Do you have a cat?
yeah, we got 3. Me and Iggy live upstairs. There's like 3 cats up there. It's like a cat
You have
sanctuary.
a black and white cat, right?
Yeah, my
Named
cat
Iggy?
named Twilly.
Is this somebody? Oh, I know what I'm thinking. Not everyone has the same cat. Yeah. Oh, can I tell you a little tidbit about Iggy, which I probably bugged him about 1,000 times?
What is it?
In my phone, it says Iggy Lollipop, and whenever he texts me, I'm like, Iggy Pop is texting, and it
that's
fills
fucking-
me with the most insane excitement, and then like laugh at myselfness.
That's so funny.
Yeah, it's like I'm just like.
I could see that.
Yeah,
for sure.
I was like, oh my God, why is he texting? He doesn't have my number.
Got it.
To be very clear.
Got it.
Yeah.
That's funny. That's funny.
have my
Yeah. How, on a tangent, how did you end up working with him? Like, how did that come to be?
Yeah, it all plays into the same thing. Is that I think like Larry and I particularly have given like so many years of energy of love for Iggy Pop. You know what I mean? Like we have spent our lives like just being like, that's the top. Like he's the best. That's the best music. He's the coolest guy. Like he keeps getting better and better. He keeps putting stuff out. Like he's hero.
Yeah, definitely.
Hero. So yeah, it's not like not breaking news here. So I think what happened was like we had kind of worked on like manifesting and we had started meeting other people that like manifest, and some people are really, really, really good at it, and it's maybe not magic. They just put in the energy and the effort, and they're buzzing about, and so things flop at them faster. But our best friend Kansas, who makes most of our videos or is in a lot of our videos, she said that she had this dream about the Andy Warhol eating a hamburger little video or movie that they made, and it's just him eating a Burger King burger and then putting it away, and that's the movie. And she said she had a dream that Iggy was doing that, and she was like, I think I'm gonna ask Iggy to do that for your video. And we were like, okay, boomer. You know, we were just like, yeah, that's never, you know, we were like, that's not really gonna happen. And we did actually consciously be like, let's not put any energy or not too much energy because that's too crazy. And then I guess she contacted his manager who rules, and they proposed the idea to him, and he thought it was great because he loves Andy Warhol, obviously. And so they set it up, and we were just like, each little like email that's like from Iggy's manager, ha ha, or like smiley face, like it's approved, or like everything was just like oh, like, and then Larry and I weren't gonna go. We were just like, we don't have anything to say to him. Like, we don't have to, you know, like he's the best. Nothing we could possibly do could help. And then a few people were like, wait, you're not going? Like, what's wrong with you guys? And so, he lives in Miami, and it was in the middle of July, and we hate heat and sun, but we went anyways. And on the plane, we were like, we're going to meet Iggy, dude. Like, going to meet Iggy. Just me and Larry,
crazy.
like,
that's cool.
Little buddies on this little like trip, and we stayed at this Airbnb, and we had it's called bunk beds. So he was like on the bottom, and I was on the top, and we were just waiting so patiently for the next day. And then we met him the next day.
Nice guy.
Oh my God, it's. I think most people.
He's like an angel.
Yeah,
a rock angel.
Yeah, I think most people don't realize that when people become super famous, there is a lot of things that go into it. I think luck, whatever it is. There's a lot of, or timing or money or whatever you want to pretend or whatever makes you feel comfy. But no one that I think that I've ever met that's truly, truly like famous doesn't have an extreme energy about them, whether it's awful. I won't say names, but there's some that where you just walk in the room, it's like, what?
Yeah,
Ugh.
yeah.
But it's like,
it's some sort of energy.
yeah, and it's a magical force. Like, I don't know why, but we were so scared, like waiting down, because I think he came at 10. We met him from like 10 to 11. It was just one shot, like one thing. He practiced like 4 times. It was so cute, and it was amazing. But the minute he came in the room, like all fear just dissipated.
Melted,
it was just like, hey, and he was like, oh, I didn't know you guys were gonna be here. And I was like, or no, he said to me and Larry, I think he said like, I didn't know you girls were gonna be here, and I was just like, and then he just sat down. And then I had to do his tie because he had never done a tie, so I was like putting his tie on.
Wow.
I was like,
you're putting on Iggy's tie.
yeah, and then I have his suit, which is pretty.
Wow, the one in the video?
Yeah.
That's super fucking cool.
Yeah, so I have a T-shirt that he wore.
Never wash it.
Yeah, no, I don't. I think I shouldn't say any more about anything else.
Got it.
I don't practice ritual magic, but if I did, I suppose I should do it on that. But yeah, no.
What a fucking awesome experience.
Yeah,
huh?
like my heart's beating really fast. Like anytime anyone is like, "How'd that happen?" I'm like, well, here, it's so unreal, and
it's really cool.
it's just so unreal. It's so far out. Like all of our biggest hero dreams came true, or like we worked to win.
Yeah, yeah.
And yeah, like Larry's biggest dream in the world, his favorite band in the world is 13th Floor Elevators and Rocky Erickson, and he got to be in the band.
It's crazy.
You know what I mean? Thank
Fucking
you,
crazy.
Eli and Jager. Like just these. It's like this world is pretty big, but if you're like laser,
It's smaller than it feels.
Laser focused on your dreams, like you will one day walk in the glory and the splendor of your of your dreams.
That is true.
Do you know what time it is? Not
12:50.
Oh, that's great. I was just scared that it would be like 12:17, and it would be like, you know what I mean? Like having no concept of time. I was like so scared that.
Dude, that's what this podcast is weird.
In what way?
It's in a good way.
Okay.
Like time just kind of, I forget
Yeah.
that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Time just doesn't exist really.
Yeah. Can I ask you a quick question?
Yeah.
About patience?
Yeah.
Okay. Like, sorry, this is just really important to me. As I said before, like the sort of death positive thing. Like, what is her take on? Is there a type of funeral or after death thing you do with your body that she thinks is like? Since this is the only person I can ask, a funeral director. Like, is there a way that she? Because it's so different culture to culture. But is there something she's like? I kind of like this way the best, or is that personal?
No, that's not personal.
Yes.
She's definitely pro cremation.
Wow.
She thinks that. I mean, I don't know. I tend to personally. I that's how I'd want to go. I wouldn't want to take up any more space. I've already taken up space. You know, like I don't want any more space.
That's how you look at it?
Yeah, I've taken up like the space your body takes up in the universe is. There's no replacing. You know what I mean? You can replace that when you're gone. But
why do you look at yourself as a thing that's taking up like space?
I don't know, because I have problems. But I did that. It's just like I don't want to take up any more space in the world where it's already too overpopulated, and
there's like so much space in the universe. You're like
no, but on the planet, because if you get buried, you're still taking up the space now in the ground.
So that's why you don't want to do it.
Yeah, I just feel like, and also it's just, I don't want someone to feel like they have a responsibility to come visit my grave when it's like my birthday or something. It's just think of me. Think of me when I was alive and well.
Right.
Cremate me, throw me in the ocean, you know?
So this is part of like death positive things, I think, is thinking like in advance, like what is your hope for, I think if people know how they want their friends to feel, that would be so cool if you could like talk about this stuff and be like,
yeah, for sure.
I want you to like, whenever you like eat a blueberry, you think of me, or you know, or like whenever you step on a worm by accident, you think of, you know, like I think it's more about that. I know here it's a real, as everything else is like a huge industry that seems a little silly to me, but I don't want to. It's not my place. Like
no, it's what it is very different culture to culture, and I'm forgetting. It might be Jewish. I'm not sure. There's one where if someone dies, there's no, like, it's the same day they get buried.
Yeah.
Like, there's no waiting. There's no.
They
it's
have
just like
really cool.
You die, you're in the ground.
They have really cool shrouds that I saw because I was at the. I went to a funeral a few weeks ago, and I went inside the like funeral home, and they had the death shrouds. They were so cool. Just like these. Sorry, but honestly, I was like, I want one, and my sister was like, no. No, you can't have that till you die. Yeah. But they're really, really beautiful, like all cotton or whatever.
Yeah.
And they're like, and they have little feet things that like come around from under and like cover your foot this way.
Yeah, yeah.
They just seem real neat to me.
Yeah.
But I think maybe we can stop talking about this, but I hope everyone, like, I think that's how you, if you know how someone wants to be buried.
How do you want to go?
It seems like there's like reverb for a second.
It's a little bit of a
echo.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
No
Ever since I was a kid, I would write very explicit instructions, or not instructions, just like what I really wanted, like who I wanted to give my guitar to. Like,
oh, wow.
It's just like on and on and on. But the main thing I'll just tell you what I wanted when I was a kid, because
You don't know it right now?
It changed. I just want people to know that I'm really happy, because if they find all my journals, they're going to be like, whoa.
What the fuck was going on in her head?
I gave a note to my roommate that when I die, that he should give that to whoever has to go through my journals, and just says, like, I'm super happy. Like, I just had to write a lot of things because I don't want...
I had to output the demons inside of me.
Yeah, like, that's not real. I was working on a script. Yeah. But when I was a kid, and this is so stupid, but I actually just found this journal recently, is I wanted to be cremated and put into a genie lamp, and then... that way, if someone found the genie lamp and they would like rub on it, that nothing would happen, which seems so mean. And then also, I wanted to have a gravestone somewhere with no body, but just like a gravestone that just says "Return to Sender." But that seems stupid now, you know?
That's trippy.
Or like "Thank you." I think that's my new thing, is just like a cool ass gravestone, like maybe it's like a gargoyle or something holding a sign, or something cool that just says thank you.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know.
That's cool.
I think it doesn't matter, but I think it matters because it's like, if everyone's gonna die. I don't know if you knew that.
Oh yeah, trust me, I know that.
Okay, well, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Are you okay?
You know what? Let me run this by you.
Yes.
Let me run this by you.
Please.
This is a problem that I have.
Yes.
A pattern of thought that I have that I get stuck in sometimes.
This is my favorite topic. Go ahead.
So when I would get really anxious and panicky, I would be scared that I was dying. I'd be scared that it's like, this is it. I'm dying. It's over. But I've had so many that I'm not scared of death anymore. I'm just scared of the suffering. I just don't want to suffer. And to me, the anxiety is just suffering. And how do you not fear that? It's inevitable. It's just like everyone's going to die. Everyone's going to suffer. How much suffering is too much? When I'm worried that the suffering, it will never end.
Right.
That's my biggest fear. It's not that I'm going to die or that any of that. Like, I don't even give a shit if a panic attack. If I have a panic attack and it takes my life, dude, I don't give a shit. But the suffering is what freaks me out more.
Right. Totally. You know? That makes so much sense. So I think the first thing is the suffering anxiety? Is that
the sensations, the feeling like,
do you think
the actual feeling like you're completely out of control of reality and your body, and
do you think, you don't have to say, but do you think in your mind you kind of know where it comes from? Like
no, absolutely not.
So this will happen. Physical, but I mean, like, as far as like a way you were raised, or like a traumatic experience, or you know, the usual things that typically.
I don't know. All the therapy that I've been in for years, that never seems to be an issue with my past, or, I mean, a lot of it has to do with how I was raised, but there's nothing traumatic.
That's okay.
It's more.
You don't need trauma to be fucked up.
Yeah, I mean, it's
You're
not.
okay.
It's not trauma.
Yeah.
It's more like I've had personal experiences that aren't related to my family that have fucked me up.
Okay.
So it could be from that, but a lot of it's just straight physical.
Okay.
I won't even be thinking anything, or there's times I've been like
I'm just
laying on the
taking it in.
couch
Yeah.
and relaxing, and I'll stand up to go do something, and all of a sudden
So
it's all for nothing. We're all gonna die. Everything's gonna turn to dust. Everything's fucked. My heart's beating. The room starts spinning, and the walls are closing in. And there's times I've gone completely numb, where I can't feel my hands. I can't move my hands. They get locked like this.
Okay.
It's fucked up.
No.
So it's like, I don't know. That's what
We're gonna work on this right
that's
now.
what.
Yeah, keep talking.
That is what worries me more than death.
Right. So okay. So
So-
that's good. It's not a fear of death, which would stink. Because guess what? You're gonna die.
Oh, for sure.
But so it sounds like, to me, it sounds like you have it's an anxiety disorder. It's just straight up and pure something that's going on in your nice wonderful brain that like is just the way you are made. And I think that that's great, because it's not. I mean, everything I think can be fixed and healed, and you don't have to suffer. Number one, first of all, you don't have to suffer. This is so unimportant, boring content.
No, not at all.
I suffered for my whole life until which is insane. I'm born again. I suffered completely until the kind of the last 7 years, and then it just skyrocketed to like pure joy in the last 4 months. But like,
Wow.
I think that that's the number one thing you have to know is you don't have to suffer. It's really hard to work through this part to the part where you're filled with fucking joy. But it's
Yeah, I wonder how that feels.
I know. Like I've never talked too much about this kind of stuff in front of a human I don't know, and like maybe there's somebody in there.
Maybe.
But I don't know. Is there?
Let me see. Yeah, let's see.
I hope there's not.
Yeah, there's people watching. There's a few comments. Vicky says, "Hi, Bonnie." Jillian Jones says, "Oh wow, I love Bonnie." And Luke says, "I love this lady."
Aww.
And someone says, "I do too. She's so sweet and talented."
Oh, wow. So we haven't ruined anyone's day so far. Okay. Let's think about this, because I really wanted to come here to get to the core, of your anxiety.
Oh, geez, that's.
No, I don't think so. I really don't think so. I wrote this for you.
Oh wow.
Okay. So I kind of went through some of it, but now that we have a purpose for it, like, is that okay if we just do this?
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Okay.
It's up to you.
So here's an image you can just look at when you feel like it.
Love it.
No reason.
Love it.
Okay.
It's clouds with smiley faces. Oh, you can see it all.
So I'm not. Well, I guess like what I've been really focusing on lately is that idea of. Let me think about this. Is important because I wanted to talk to you about your anxiety for years, because I just know that it helps you in a lot of ways, but it's hurting you in a lot of ways, and I think that you can eliminate like 70% of it. And knowing that it's just like a physiological, like you just have an anxiety disorder. You're not a big dum-dum. You're not born wrong. You didn't do nothing wrong. Like, you didn't choose the wrong path. Like, you're on the right path, first of all. Like, you're doing better than you should be. You should be like living with 2 rats, hugging them in the alley, just like punching yourself in the face every day. But you're doing so good. And I think it's probably a lot of stuff that you can do, but I guess the first place is just that you don't have to feel this way. And like, so like, when that stuff is happening, like when you're starting to feel like the thing that you've called suffering, which is great. I love that you have a term for that experience.
Sure.
Just let's do that. That's the experience, is suffering. So when that's happening, do you have a spiral of ideas? Like what's happening in your brain and your body?
I feel, okay, the only way I can describe it is I tend to, that's the doorbell.
What? Oh my God, tell him we're busy.
Geez, I don't know how personal I want to go. Well, fuck it.
That's fair. You don't have to.
No, fuck it. So, like, I've been trying to get better for a long time.
And you're on medicine?
I'm on Prozac.
Okay.
And
you go to therapy?
I actually stopped going to therapy
Did
about
you
a
not
month
like
ago.
Your therapist?
No, I love therapy, and I've been seeing a therapist long before I've been on medication.
Okay.
Probably for 3 years now, because I've had anxiety my whole life.
Yeah.
And it was a robocall. I get Google fucking
pick it
calls
up?
every freaking day.
I've never had one. Do you think
Yeah,
it'll be
but
fun?
if they call next time, yeah.
Okay,
it's always
okay,
like,
sorry.
you're approved for the Google advertisement. Call this number to be blah blah blah.
Congratulations.
Yeah, but then it's like they want $5,000 or some crazy shit.
That seems like too much.
Yeah.
Please continue. Oh, but you stopped going to therapy?
Yeah. One, I didn't have health insurance for the last 2 years, so I was seeing my therapist out of pocket. As the cheapest I could find, and I just couldn't afford it. It got to the point where I couldn't afford it. And B, as crazy as it may sound, I actually think that talking about things so much was keeping me stuck in my head.
Okay, well.
And so not
fair.
seeing a therapist, I've been fine. I think I've been better, but it's like the panic attacks from what people have told me, doctors and therapists, is just a symptom of my depression and a symptom of what they call pure O. That's what it's OCD, where it's just the O in OCD, where I'm not compulsive, but I'll like obsess and I'll ruminate and I'll spiral down like rabbit holes of
this is good
bullshit.
intel. Yeah, no, it's not
So,
bullshit. Okay.
But they all relate that to depression. That's how I've been diagnosed, basically.
Okay.
So, I'm functioning now. I wasn't able to function for like a year of my life, but I'm okay now.
Awesome.
I'm doing all right.
Yeah.
I have my ups and downs. I almost had a panic attack like 2 nights ago out of nowhere. I was like freaking out. I called my therapist. She's like, I'm not seeing you anymore. I'm like, I don't know who else to call. Everything's fucked.
Yeah.
But that's for me. It's
good.
I get stuck. Either I'm getting stuck in a thought pattern.
Like what? Like, do you mind giving an example?
It sounds crazy, but the other day it was I couldn't even understand what my brain was telling me. It was just blah, 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 like just
really?
gibberish, like monster noises.
Wow.
Like it was like running so fast that there was no comprehension. All I knew is that it was bad. It wasn't good.
So so that's not like a judgment you place on it. That just sounds legit bad.
It just felt bad. It felt uncomfortable. It was giving me anxiety, and it was just this like gibberish nonsense. And there'd be some times where it's like, I don't know, a big one is like everything is going to turn to dust. Like it's all worth. What's anything worth? What is worth? Worth is nothing. Like, what's the point? This is all bullshit.
Okay.
Those kind of dark, ruminating, and I'll sit in that, and then it'll just be gibberish, and
I hear you.
It just ensues anxiety.
Yeah, that sounds really like that's intense. That's heavy. That's not like my like pathway to helping. I think could give you like a few tips and tools and such, but that definitely sounds like I don't think that I should go messing around in that, because I don't, you know what I mean? Like,
I wasn't going to say all that.
No, it's fine. I want to be best friends and talk to you and be your therapist. Like, I'm down to do that.
Yeah.
Like, moving forward, like, I think there's a benefit to talking things through, and I'd love to talk with you, after this. But I also do think that, like, the way I've moved out of this is sort of in a more, like, spiritual and hopeful and positive stuff, which I think can help. but I'm also afraid that if you have, if it's in you to spiral into madness, you know what I mean? Like stuff that's not madness.
Yeah, it's not. It's more just like really.
It's completely out of your control. It sounds like.
Yes and no. There's times in the past where it has been out of control.
Yeah.
And I couldn't control it, and I would just not know what to do, and I just take Xanax and just hope for the best. And most of the time, it worked. Actually, I'd take a Xanax, and an hour later, I'd be like, "Oh, I'm okay. What the fuck's going on?" But you know, it's
just interesting because where you're falling in this, I'm just like personally, where you're falling in this is pretty outside of what I feel like I don't really, as your doctor, I don't know what to recommend, because it's like if it were like PTSD or just depression, I would be like, you should do one of those like ketamine studies, because I think there's so many benefits to that, to kind of just like breathing and setting a time where you're like, okay, this day I'm going to get through a lot of stuff in my head, and I'm going to do it with someone that's going to walk me through it in this very personal way, and then we're going to have follow-up sessions about it. Like, that's, I think, really helpful for some people, that kind of, like, psychedelic thing, or, like, you know, everyone has different things where I'm like, dude, you need medicine, or, like, but, like, I know that, you know, do you have, like, so you don't have any money?
No.
Okay.
Fuck no, I don't have any money.
Okay, I wonder if we can maybe from these people, like...
Well, I have health insurance now. I pay for health insurance. Not good health insurance, but I found an insurance I could afford, and they cover therapists.
Mental health
and
is fucking so hard.
It's so hard. They gave me a list of therapists. I called. They're all booked, have waiting lists. Okay. So I'm just like, I'm on a waiting list somewhere. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm okay, though. I don't want you to think I'm like...
No, it's just...
I'm pretty positive for the most part. I really want to, like...
I'm shocked by how positive you are.
I'm a pretty... Like, I'm happy. My life is... That's the part that it's hard
patience.
to explain to people. Like, I'm happy with my life and where everything's gone, and I'm living out my dreams.
I'm reacting this way... I'm sorry. Please
I just mean, like... Genuinely, I'm so fucking grateful for everything in my life. It has nothing to do with that. Sometimes I'll just fucking...
Here's a necklace. No, I understand what you're saying. I just think as a person that...
I love that.
As a person that's been where you are and thought that that's just what's regular, you know, or like the way it's going to be. And now I know...
Busy day.
That's so cool. They're super busy over here at Lollipop HQ. Breaking news. It rules here. Wyatt is the best.
Oh, geez. I don't know about that.
You are. I just think that, I know that you don't have to suffer and that you can be happy regardless. It's all in your mind. Like, you're
totally right. Yeah.
No, I mean, I know people say this shit all the time, but I really am like, I know, because I was like, you're going to be depressed forever. You're going to fucking hate this shit forever. You're going to have to be a junkie forever. You're going to, like, have to do all this. Like, you're going to have to sleep forever, or else you can't go outside your room, dude. Can't go outside your room. It's too scary. It's too, you know, or, like, don't even use your head, you know? Like, just like your head is too scary for it to be its natural self. And then to be like, I can't wait to see what I'm going to learn the rest of my life. Like, every day I get to learn so much cool shit. I'm so lucky. Yeah. And so I'm not saying I know how you will get there, but I know that you can get there. And I think we should focus on that starting today forever.
For sure.
Really?
For sure.
Cool.
And that's how I try and look at it. You know?
Okay.
For the most part, I'm okay. I try and say, I'm all right. You know, I'm okay. There's just sometimes where I can't. There's sometimes it hits me. It like slaps me. It's like the little dark demon slaps me and is like, I'm still here, motherfucker. I ain't gone nowhere. I'm like, oh God, I thought I got rid of you. It's like.
Does it
it's
help
like,
propel? Like, do you use that for your music, or is it just
destabilizing? Music for me is like. I don't know if it's the same for you, but it's where I don't have to be. That's where I can lock the door to that and just do what I want. But but I'm also I love pop music. I don't know. I like music that makes me feel good
That's
or feel
awesome.
something.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't make me feel so alone in the world. You know what I mean? Like it's just like,
no, I
oh,
know.
like this is
It's-
great.
yeah, no.
Like someone made this with the intention of what their, what's happening in their life, and I can feel it, and like, wow, I'm connected, and this is amazing. And there's other people that like this music too, and it's really grounding.
Community,
beautiful thing. Yeah,
harmony, friendship.
exactly.
That's great. I guess like one of the 10 worst things about me is that I want people to feel ultimate joy. So I get that you're okay. I just really want to like erase that other part. Like
Yeah, I can't seem to get rid of it.
Okay,
I've tried so many different medications and therapists and psychologists and psychiatrists, and it's just like, God damn it, man. Like,
I've got some
fuck.
ideas. How about let's make this idea is that we're talking now, right?
Yeah.
This is right now. What even month is it? February.
February, yeah, it's February
Wait a
6th.
Okay. Wow, really?
Yeah.
Just keeps on going forward. So February. So 6 months from now, let's do this again
Sure.
and we'll see what are the answers, or if there aren't. If you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
let's see what happens.
Yeah.
I feel like there's some things I feel almost embarrassed like speaking for so long that people are gonna be like, shut up. God.
No.
Why she
Yeah,
want
but
people to
anybody
be happy?
anybody can press next video or stop whenever they want. Yeah.
I guess free will is true, but what if someone's like me and is like, oh, like maybe that she's gonna say something good soon.
I think you've said plenty of good shit.
Really?
But see, like you're now I think you've got some.
I don't like myself
Like-
or something. I'm
like-
just really
Yeah,
happy.
but that's the power of the internet. It's like, next video, or pause, or turn off YouTube.
That's true.
The power is not in.
That's
It's in their hands.
true.
It's in the people's watching's hands.
That's true. To free will.
Yeah.
Free will. It's hard to remember though. 'Cause
Yeah, it's true.
I'm really scared of like public speaking. It's like my biggest fear.
Oh yeah.
And this kind of is like
This is kind of like public speaking, right?
it's a lot
Sort
like
of.
it, and the ceiling's so high and the room's so big, and like I'm used to like kind of like when I talk to people, it being like this like.
Yeah.
So this is kind of like, yeah, it's a little scary, but I'm really impressed. I think you guys are so cool. This is
Thanks.
awesome.
Yeah. Well, it's been a lot of work.
Yeah, I really am excited for you, and if you need like volunteers, let me know.
Oh, for sure. You
yeah.
can come by whenever you want.
Yeah.
You can come do this. We could literally do this all the time. It doesn't
The
matter.
kid
Talk
really
about whatever.
wanted to come.
Oh, she should have.
Yeah, she's working.
Man, I've known her for so long.
yeah, you guys, you
For so
recorded
long.
her, right, in the fly
Yeah.
traps?
Yeah, my parents' garage.
That's so cool. Yeah,
Way back in the day.
She really was like, I want to talk to Wyatt with you.
Well, come back.
Yeah, you guys have
Please.
a lot in common.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's. I haven't talked to her in so long, but
Didn't we run into you in Arizona, or was that here? Oh, can I ask you a
I
question?
don't remember. I do remember seeing you guys, but I don't remember where it was. Ask away.
Okay. So Prescott, Arizona.
Yeah.
That's so cool. I love Northern Arizona. That's where it is, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
And it's like there's something so special about that place, like being close to the desert where there's like nothing below and barely anything above, and you can tell if a bird is doing something a mile away, and then like all of a sudden all of this life and like
Yeah.
stuff. Like, do you love it there?
Yes, I do love it there. I lived up there for about a year, a little over a year.
Yeah, like just
And I
recently.
love it. I love it. I do. But I also realized a lot of things about myself from living there. Like I love the sun and sunshine.
It's really,
and
I think
need
it's
it.
healthy.
I need it every
I
day.
fucking hate that thing.
So the winters were kind of brutal. I mean, it snows and it's cold
Yeah.
as fuck. And
Yeah.
so the winters were
great.
kind of brutal. I don't think I was totally prepared. I'm born and raised. I'm such a spoiled. I was born and raised here, in Southern California,
Well,
where
do
it's
you
the
call-
same weather every day.
I don't think people from like
Um,
Alaska, or not I think people from Antarctica aren't like, I'm spoiled. Like, you don't have to judge
Well,
where you're from.
you know what I mean. It's
I
just
don't
this
like
is
the
I'm
sun.
used to this.
I don't think you're spoiled. I think you're living a horrible fate. There's a horrible fate. Sun all day. Like, you just like the sun.
It's something I've realized.
It's really good for mood stabilization.
Oh God, for everything.
Mood stabilization.
That's right. Yeah. Mood stabilization.
I like this TV that says something went wrong. Something went wrong.
We're trying to put the little camera in the front so we've been getting like ding dong ditchers and
that's so exciting.
Weirdos and stuff. So
that's amazing.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No worries.
Oh, so like, that's cool. So, well, that's great. So you did an experiment and you found out you like the sun. And
I'm better here.
Great.
I don't know. As much as I'm not a huge fan of LA. I do love the weather and I love the beaches and I love the food and the culture. There's a lot that I love about it.
Those are great reasons. Yeah. I think probably what you don't like about it is maybe something like what I saw today, which is you can either choose to dislike or like it, but I just want to tell you something I saw today.
Yeah, tell me.
I was walking down the street on my dog walk, which I do every day, trying to think of shit, and then I see this dude smoking this, like, insane pipe that was, like, so important to him, with using a magnifying glass to use the sun to burn the weed, and I was like, do you not have a lighter? And he's like, this is the most natural way to get high. And I was like, oh my God, what is
That's
even
a Bill Nye the
happening?
Science Guy fucking shit.
It was the weirdest. No, it wasn't that weird. It was, what's that word for when something's of the times?
Very, I'm just going to look it up.
Yeah.
Oh, and baby boomers, by the way, are 1946 to 1964.
Shit. Well, I said 40s.
Yeah.
I said 40s.
40s I didn't realize it went to the 60s, but.
Yeah, that's exciting.
Of the times. A sign of the times?
That's good. There's like one word that's like,
yeah, he keeps saying a sign of the times.
Yeah.
Let me see.
Somebody said it yesterday, and I was like, oh, I never remember that word.
A sign of the times. That's all that keeps popping
That's
up.
okay. I just wanted to share that. Hey, do you have a best friend?
Do I have a best friend?
Or do you like best friends?
Yeah, of course. I mean, Iggy's probably my best friend.
Iggy Lollipop?
Yeah, of course. Lewis. I don't know if you know Lewis at all.
I sure do. How's he doing?
Good. I love Lewis.
That's so cool.
And
Does he
Patience.
live here?
He lives in Orange County.
Sorry, that took like
no worries.
a little bit longer to like penetrate my thinking area.
No worries.
I was like, Orange County?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
So, yeah, that's good to have friends.
Yeah, I love best friends.
Yeah.
They're my favorite.
Who's your best friend?
Oh, my God. My sister, Larry, the kid, Pickle, Ricky.
Pickle? Who's Pickle?
She's our bass player.
Oh, okay.
Tina, Little Ghost, my nephews, my dog.
How's your dog doing?
I have other ones. Don't be sad. I have so
I only
many.
met the one.
Tommy.
Yeah, the one you've had for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's been having, I think, like a spiritual crisis. Oh my God. I know. Oh my God. Oh wow.
What?
I totally forgot. This is a platform, and I need to address something that is heartbreaking.
What is it?
It's something very unjust is happening right now. Oh my God.
With dogs?
Yes. Oh God.
What is like a humane society thing?
It's even worse. It's a human society thing. Okay, this is insane, but I really need your help. I need everyone's help.
Okay, yeah, explain what's going on.
This is so heartbreaking, and I just found out before I got here. Okay. Oh my God. Okay, so a few days ago, me and another one of my best friends found this dog. And this dog was so cute, and I thought his name was maybe Arthur, but it's not. But he was like a puppy. He smelled so good. He was so cute. He's like just so much fun, like a real good boy, gray.
Yeah.
I can show a picture later. Yeah. Okay, so
Arthur, though, you just thought his name was Arthur?
I sometimes think things names are Arthur. I've noticed that's a pattern. It's happened 2 other times in my life. With I had a stuffed animal monkey that had a suit on and a red tie, and I named him Arthur.
It's a great name.
He had little glasses.
Classic.
And
have you seen the cartoon Arthur?
Maybe that's what it is. Yeah.
He's got the little glasses too.
Yeah, maybe I ripped it off, and then my friend, we found a dog and we named it Arthur. It just seems to be a good solid name for a guy you don't know.
It is. I almost didn't even ask. I was like, yeah, Arthur. For sure.
Yeah, totally right. It feels good. So we put up signs, or my friend put up signs to say lost dog, found dog. And then somebody suggested we bring it to the shelter because that's where people are supposed to go to get the dog, right?
Mm-hmm.
If they lost their dog. And so the dog was there for a few days. And then my other friend, do you know Railroad Bill?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Great name, though.
He's great. He found a sign on the street that was missing dog.
And it was the same dog?
Yeah, and it was like, Forky is missing. Our most glorious Forky is missing. Like, please, please help us find Forky. And so Railroad Bill texted me and said, is this that maniac? And I was like, oh my God, Forky is somebody's dog. We can't keep him. So I called the number, and this lady that's a lie. She did not pick up.
Okay.
Eventually, she called me back, and she was like, I can't believe you found Forky. Like, where is he? And I was like, he's at this shelter. Like, everything's fine. Like, fucking the world is, street justice is prevailing. We are one with each other. This is meant to be.
Yeah.
Like, Earth is good, and all will be fine.
So what went wrong?
Oh, God, it's so... And I haven't even told anybody yet. It's so sad.
What could go wrong with that? Everything was great.
So yesterday, people called to see if Forky was still there and if they could get him because they wanted to give him to someone else before we knew what was going on. And they said, no, he's not available for adoption. So he was safe. He was not going anywhere until today at 8 a.m. when he was put up. He was able to be adopted. So we sent all of Forky's, the tag that says I'm coming back to get this animal, all of the stuff to Forky's owner, and I can't remember her name because with a dog's name like Forky, I'm not about to be remembering people's names. Yeah. But so she called all this stuff, and I was
Forky,
like, just let me know when you pick up Forky. Like, they open at 8 a.m. This is the name of the place. Yay, justice restored. Love, love, love. That's all that matters. That's all that's ever mattered. Like, praise, love, fucking this morning. Let me just get the facts straight here.
Okay.
Because this is a platform where people can help us.
So, what did she not show up to pick up the dog, or what?
Okay, well, I don't want to judge anyone, but she texted me at 10 and said, hi, good morning. And I said, hi, did you get Forky? She said, no, sad face, sad face. Somebody adopted him already, and the lady doesn't want to give it back. And I said, no, that's not fair. What's her info? I will try and make this right. I'm so sorry. And she said, that's no fair. And I said, we will fix it. And she said, but how? They told me the lady paid $600. And I said, I can give her the money back, but that's not the problem. And I said, do you know who she is? And they said, it's confidential. So some person that doesn't care about joy, harmony...
is working at that shelter. Is allowed, right? I mean, like... That's
it's an inside job?
It is. Someone there was allowed the adoption to happen and the money to be transferred.
That's a place to focus some shit. I was just like, we got to get this dog back to the rightful owner. If somebody...
How could someone even
took my dog and was like, oh, I paid... Like, I think... I don't know. I don't know what we're going to do.
That's fucked.
I feel like we need at least like $1,500 to be like, listen, here's like... I don't know. We got to do something, but
who would even want that? How could you live with yourself? Having someone else's dog?
I don't know how you
knowing that they want the dog back?
The whole thing, right.
How do you sleep at night?
This is a sign that not all is well. That street justice hasn't prevailed. That like love, that we got to be so proud of ourselves for being the kind of people that wouldn't take someone else's dog, but now we got to inflict some sort of joyous punishment on the person that's doing the wrong thing. I don't know what. Maybe you can ask around, like, what do we do? Because this seems like a really strange situation. Like,
Yeah.
It almost seems like someone's trying to do the worst thing possible.
Yeah, it's harder
and
to
then
do
I
what
wonder
you're...
if I perpetuated it because
How could you have perpetuated it?
Like by posting like, oh, the cutest dog ever.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so at all. I mean, the owner would have never even known where the dog was if it weren't for you, in a sense, right?
Well, I don't know, but now I kind of am in the middle of this like karmic like loophole. I'm not that karma is like good things after bad. It's definitely the perpetuation of things, and I'm in this like loop, and I want to get out of it. Like, I don't want this. I don't want this.
It's definitely a weird fucking space to be in.
Yeah, but I just want the dog to go to its owner, and the person that's not letting that to happen to get I'll give her another dog.
Yeah.
A better dog. That dog is.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like you can't get attached to a dog that you just see at a shelter, right? I mean, you can, but this is someone else's fucking dog.
Why are they paying for a dog at the shelter?
Yeah, that's weird, first of all. And second of all, I thought, why would the shelter allow a dog to go to somebody else knowing it's already someone's dog?
Smells fishy.
Yeah, it smells weird.
Yeah, it smells weird.
Doesn't smell good.
I think maybe if people just somehow will think of something. I can't think of what.
Dude, if it were me, I'd call that shelter and be such a dick.
Maybe
I'd be like, that fucking dog belongs to someone else. You know that, so you got to get the dog back.
Yeah.
You're not doing the right thing. What the fuck's going on here?
Yeah,
That's the shit I would do.
Remember when me, Jesse, and the kid came into Lollipop? We stormed the castle and we were like, you guys are putting out our 7-inch. Do you remember that?
I don't remember it being that aggressive. I remember wanting to do it the 7-inch really bad. I'd be like, fuck yeah, let's do it.
I just spit. I feel like that's what I should do is get gang, just go in there and be like, that's not right. Give us her info now. Just like
that, or be like, you guys, I would put it on them. Be like, you guys need to figure this out. How do you call yourselves fucking a shelter helping animals find homes?
That doesn't sound very shelter-like.
No, you guys aren't doing your job. You need to figure this out and get the dog to its rightful owner. That's what I would do.
Okay, I'll go there.
I wouldn't take it upon yourself because
But
this could be a learning lesson for the shelter too, so this doesn't happen again. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I just feel like me and my friends, like how we forced you, like we have got a lot of power, and there's something like maybe it's even what happens on stage.
It probably would make more of a statement.
Yeah,
for sure.
like I think it's what we do best is go together and be like, this is our demands, like meet them. Like we want you to be happy, do it, and then or like. Dude,
yeah, maybe you should just go in there.
I think I will.
Probably would definitely. It would set a precedent for sure.
It would set a precedent for sure. Some people,
is that the fucking right word?
Some people call it precedent.
Whatever.
Some people call
You'd make
precedent.
your point. Your point would come across very clearly.
I know how to be a wall of like you're gonna do what we say. It's better to do it like a gang.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. That's what I'm gonna do because there was something about
poor dog's so confused.
There was something about the whole thing that I was like, this ain't right, and it really like took away my energy, and I was kind of bummed.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. But so maybe this is just a final. Maybe making the shelter a better place is why this is all happening. Because everything has to happen for a reason.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think that's a weird situation to be in, and I agree with you. I'd probably go in there and just be like, "Hey, you guys, we need to figure this shit out."
Do you like swimming?
Yeah, I love swimming.
In the ocean or a pool, or it doesn't matter?
The ocean's my favorite place personally. I like surfing a lot, swimming. I like just hanging out in the water, just floating.
You're good at the ocean?
I don't say I'm good, but I just enjoy it.
Cool.
There's something, I don't know. The only way I can say is grounding.
Hell yeah.
Like, yeah, go jump in the ocean.
It's another out of your mind thing.
Yeah, go jump in the ocean and like lay on the sand for an hour and get your whole body in the sand and see how you feel.
Earth therapy.
Yeah, it's a real thing. I mean, it's so real.
And then one other thing. One other really important thing I wanted to ask you. Do you like swimming? Oh, have you ever seen a dolphin?
Yeah, but it's been a long time.
But you've seen one.
Yeah.
And Do you have a favorite color?
Of Dolphin or just in general?
Sorry. In other news, do you have a favorite color?
Oh, geez. I don't think so. I don't think I have a favorite color.
Do you like?
I don't think so.
Do you like space better, or do you like the sky better during the day or night?
Oh, the day.
What?
For sure.
That's so cool.
Yeah, I'm a day. I'm not a night guy.
Cool.
I like being awake in the day in the sun,
This is really fun.
seeing clouds and birds. And I like seeing life. You know what I'm saying?
You love life.
I just like seeing life. It's inspiring. The darkness is not that I hate it, but it doesn't inspire me as much.
Yeah, I like your style. I think that's something to think about more. Is you like life. I find daytime to be too distracting because you can see too much stuff. Nighttime's dark, so it's like limited. You can just see what's lit up.
See, that doesn't make you anxious. I like seeing everything. I like feeling literal warmth from Mother Nature. I like seeing birds chirping and flying and having fun. Like that shit's like, oh,
I think I'm easily
inspiring.
stimulated. Like it's almost too much information.
Okay.
Because I really like to think like about everything that's happening.
Yeah. That's what you're saying. There's a calmness to the night
but
that you like.
Another thing on our journey that we're gonna go on for the next 6 months, talking about this a lot, is I like that you know what you like. So you're not even. It's not like you have this issue of I just don't even like anything. You know what you like.
I just know that I like the sun. And that makes me feel more than anything I've done for myself. That's the one thing I know. I make a fucking point of I'm a nut. Like people think I'm wacky, so I'll sit in the parking lot with my shirt off, just like for an hour.
It's so good for you.
I just need it. I need it so bad.
Yeah, you need it. You need it. Maybe has anyone ever? I don't really believe in vitamins because it seems really boring. But isn't there like maybe you have like a vitamin D deficiency? Yeah,
I do. And actually, the first time I went to the doctor, when I went to the doctor with anxiety. I had a panic attack in her office.
That's
and
good,
I couldn't move, and all the nurses were like trying to get me to drink water. And I was like, I can't move my mouth. I'm fucking dying. And she was like, I'm going to take your blood levels of vitamin D and all these other thyroid. And she was like, this might be something that's simple.
Yeah.
And everything came back clean, but the vitamin D was low.
Right. I don't remember.
And she's like, you got to take a supplement or get in the sun.
You have to take, maybe do both.
I do.
You take vitamin D, and then what's the other one you have to take for it to go into your animal body?
It's fat. You need to take it with fat.
Cool.
Yeah. So
animal
I take it.
Body.
Yeah. I make like a smoothie every morning with a bunch of coconut milk, so all fatty, and I take vitamin D with that.
That's so cool. You're a hero.
I'm definitely not a hero.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm just trying my best.
You're a human hero in almost every single way. I feel really honored to have come here. I also feel embarrassed, but I have to pee. Do you think?
Go pee. We can end this.
Do you want to end this with the idea of?
I mean, actually, I always end it. I've been trying to end it with asking what you're listening to right now, and then I'll play music and just kind of let it go.
Okay, cool.
But
sorry.
No, don't be sorry.
Sorry for my.
We've been talking for like 2 hours.
Nature. Really?
Yeah, that's how time just slips through the cracks.
Time's what you make of it, brother.
It's insane.
What am I listening to? Well, we're recording in 2 weeks, so I try not to listen to.
Oh, you're trying to keep your brain.
It's just like I've already heard everything I've heard, and I should be able to pull from that.
Okay, but if you were going to take a road trip right now, you're going to put something on for all your friends.
Does it have to be music? Because you know what's the most important thing in the world that's completely changed my entire life, and I would wish more than anything that everyone in the world would listen to and buy this one book, is a book called The Miracle Club.
The Miracle Club.
It's the most important book. I wanted to bring you one, but I bought 5 of them and gave them all away already.
Mitch Horowitz?
He's my hero. He's the coolest. He's completely transformed my life. This is what I didn't want to...
he has a thing. I'm going to play it.
Okay, cool.
The Miracle Club, Exploring Methods of Mind's Power.
Yes.
Oh, shit.
Of shining an objective light onto all corners of those traditions, but the passion and the sense of discovery
That's him.
that fuels their scholarship
voice.
comes
Yeah.
from a place
It's
of
Mr.
searching.
Horowitz's voice.
And
He's talking.
again, many people within
Theosophical
journalism
society.
and academia are
Yeah.
shy
People like
about
that.
advertising themselves as members of anything because they feel like it's immediately going to taint them as coming from a less critical perspective.
Well, I'll leave this playing for.
But when you're
podcast.
writing
Oh,
about
Can you put it down?
occult and
Oh,
esoteric
I'll tell you
movements,
on the side.
Yeah.
I have
yeah, yeah.
found
I love you, Wyatt.
that many
Hey, thanks for
people,
coming.
particularly
Yeah.
Thank you
people
so
in the
much for
mainstream,
coming.
want to
letting me-
know
Of
I'm
course.
and
excited
want to
for the
establish
future.
right
Me
away,
too.
do you believe in any of this
Mitch
stuff?
Horowitz.
Do you actually take any of this stuff seriously? And my answer to them is always a blunt yes, absolutely. I'm critical. I'm caring about what I write about. I try to weigh very carefully those ideas and facets of our history that I think speak to our best ideals and those and those moments and episodes in our history that demonstrate failure. But I always want to be very blunt and very direct and very clear with people about that because I think that part of the impoverishment of our ability to evaluate religion from an academic or from a journalistic perspective is, and this is less true today than it was 20 years ago, less true today than 20 years ago, but is this unwillingness to take seriously the contention that these ideas